I just want to mention something. Cres9 works in few weeks. I mentioned genetic engineering is very slow technique, months and a year, but few weeks somebody can be cured. AIDS or other diseases, Parkinson, cancer, many diseases. Okay, let's go to, last time some of you weren't here, I talked about synthetic engineering. I mentioned they take E. coli bacteria. They have extra branches of corn, wheat. They put it in the container. They add yeast. They create ethanol. Ethanol is energy. It is pure alcohol. They can use it for energy, to run the car, run manufacturing, everything. Now technology has even changed. Let's meet another guy. There are two guys, of course. Mr. Phil, he's an assistant professor of art and design in San Francisco College. Phil Ross, Mr. Phil Ross. He's 46 years old. Few years ago, he had a friend. She was nurse. She told him, look, this mushroom does magic. I have a 20 pages article about mushroom, how many diseases they cure. They are good for aging, on and on. So this guy, he was also artist. He went across the street from Golden Bridge. There is a forest there, pick up many different mushrooms, did a lot of experiment. And he realized if he add these to the saw ash and mushroom, this is wood fungi. Mushroom is wood fungi. He can have a strong brick. What he did, he take a container, add sawdust, warm it up, cool it off, add some fungi, and had some cast, pour these in the cast. He had such a strong bricks that saw is going to be ruined if you want to cut those bricks. Look at these bricks. These are amazing, amazing. He made even furniture. But something happened, made me laugh. I didn't believe. I said, no way, it's not possible. It's not possible. In Germany, they have exhibition, of these bricks. They had extra pieces. They added hot water and they drank instead of herbal tea. Instead of herbal tea, I know what happened. Somebody was stingy. They said, I throw these chips of brick out. No, I am going to add hot water. Tastes good. I'm not going to buy herbal tea anymore. Anyway, he's amazing. This is actually co-founder of Wood Fungi. He's Mr. Andy. Mr. Andy is also assistant professor of Stanford University. And he's 45 years old. Before I talk about him, I want to show you pine cone. I collect this pine cone with my grandchildren. We went twice to the park, and they keep adding to my bag. And they say, Grandma, you need young one, old one. So Mr. Drew Andy says, whenever I come out of my house, I see all these pine cones, I get upset. I promise you, from these and wood fungi, I'm going to make laptop and chips. He said, everything we need, they are around us, In my neighborhood, we have 30,000 homes. We throw 500 pounds of garbage out. We have sun, radiation from sun, energy. We can create things you are going to be shocked in 10 years. Bumper car is going to be made. Vinyl siding, those skateboard, construction material, it's going to be out of this world. It's going to be evolution, revolution. It changed our civilization, So we have to be alive to see all this technology. They are amazing. I want to go to time is illusion first because we have a Zibajan here. She asked me, she doesn't live here. She has to go back to Israel. So let's go time is illusion. Many Sometimes you say, oh, I wasted my time. I have no time. Time is gold. You know, time is precious. What do we mean? Where does time come from? Where does time goes to, you know? What is time that they say time is illusion? 4,000 years ago, Greek, Egyptian, Indian, and China, they used the shade of sun on the earth and they would tell time. Of course, Chinese also use the shade of sun on the water too. Little by little, they get smarter. They realize Earth rotates around its axis. So they figure out it should be 24 hours. And then they divided half a day, 12 hours, half a day, night, and they create clock. Of course, they pick up 60 for 60 minutes, 60 for 60 seconds. It's a round number. 60 can be divided to 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Very good number. And then little by little, they had better clock. By 1949, they made atomic clock. Atomic clock is from cesium. Cesium is element number 55. And then atomic number of 110. They use isotope of 133. But, you know, every atom, every subatomic particle release energy like a wave, you know. This cesium, CS, cesium, in 1 second, vibrate 9 billion, 129 million, 770,631 times a second. Can we have more accurate clock? No way. Every 30 years, it can go 1 second ahead, 1 second back. You cannot believe that there is 2 of these atomic clocks, one in Washington, D.C., and then one is Switzerland. You know, these, they use them for GPS around the world. They use them for broadcasting, international broadcasting, and they use them for the computer that they check the rotation of Earth around the sun. By June, they have to change it 1 second, take it ahead because of the rotation of Earth around the sun. Many computers have problem with 1 second. See what a universe we are living in, what a Earth we are living, how accurate it is. Okay, look at Einstein. These 10 times we should say genius man. 1905, he was 26 years old. He was working for patent office in Switzerland. So he would see a lot of clocks they send it for patent, and he also think about the light all the time. He wrote 5 articles for a Berlin magazine. One of the articles, he said, time is illusion. Nobody pay attention because he wasn't famous. Little by little, he became famous. They pay attention, and they knew what he's talking about. Let's explain what he's talking about carefully. First, he said, okay, let's say this is a Big Bang. Of course, right now, they say maybe Big Bang is explosion of energy. 95.1% of universe is just energy. Some of the science say at any moment, the energy can explode because E equal MC2. We could have, you know, the whole world is going upside down. But so far, we have 3 theories. Maybe dense dot has been exploded. Maybe 2 universes had crashed to each other. Anyway, 13.81 billion years ago. Then we had 4.57 billion years ago, we had the sun. Then 4.54 billion years ago, we had Earth. Let's say we are here. Let's say we are here, okay? First of all, we have another spacecraft, Swift, orbiting the Earth, trying to take a picture of all supernova that bursts, okay? And they see at least 1 supernova a day. Of course, many bursts a day. Let's say we are here, and there is another galaxy and another planet here and another star here. The star bursts here right now. Right now it is not for us. Is it not for them? No. It takes maybe 10,000 years, 100,000 years Light travel, get to us, to our eyes, to our telescope to see it. So R0 is their path. Would a planet here, if they have the same technology, they see that? Of course not. They should wait for the light reaches them in the future. So R0 is their past, their future. So if that is a space, time has to go through a space. We get from one location to another. So Einstein says, time is woven in the space. Time is the same as a space. So he called it space-time. Space-time. Then he said, if something has a gravity, time is slowed down. If something has a gravity, like Earth, we are here, and it shrinks to space-time. The space-time is the air, we are in it. The general relativity law of Einstein says anything is heavy is going to bend this space-time. As something is more heavier, the space-time bend more, shrink more. So as heavier, shrink more, shrink more, shrink more. So if we are in International Space Station, we are traveling. If this distance is 1 hour and International Space Station is 222 miles away from the Earth, there is no gravity. Here on Earth, we have a little bit gravity, 9.8 meters per second. Anyway, if it is 60 seconds, it might be 59 seconds. We are missing, the time has shrunk one second. Of course, they tried this, whatever he said later on. He also mentioned, if we are moving, time is slow down for us. What did he mean? We know the sun is regular star, middle-sized star. The sun is losing the energy. But supposedly it was supernova. It takes 8.3 minutes we receive that supernova burst and we receive the light. So if I'm standing here, I have to wait 8.3 minutes. If I'm in a train, fast-moving train, I might see that in 8.2 minutes. So if I am moving, time is slow down for me versus if you are just sitting down. If you are down there, gravity is more for you than me, I'm higher. Of course, it is not much for us, 1 trillionth of second, not even 1 trillionth. So he said if something is relative to speed, to gravity, it's not real. Something is real with like time, like a light, that every second it moves 186,000 miles per second, 300,000 kilometers per second. Something is relative is illusion. It is illusion. Okay, there are 2 books of thought about time. One is the realist and the other internalism. Realism is like Einstein. He said, yes, there was past. Yes, there is not. Yes, there will be future. We can change our future. If I know my friend is a drunk guy and he drives like a, crazy, and he invites me to go to a friend's house, I said, no. I sit down at home, watch TV. I would stay alive. If I go, I might die. Okay, so I am changing my future. Internalism say no. Past, no. Future happen in the same time. They are different dimensions. We don't see it, and we cannot change the future. Majority of them, they are like, they say, everything happened, we are like a robot. We are like a puppet. God is controlling 7.3 million. If the leaves fall down, God wanted, otherwise doesn't fall down. They don't understand. Falling down the leaves has to do with the gravity, heat, pressure, nutrition of the food, has nothing to do with God. They don't. But these are internalists. So there is 2 books of thought. Okay, can I go to the past? Supposedly we have time machine. I go and I am 10 years old. My grandma is 10 years old. We play. I get mad at her. I push her. She died. Would I be born? Of course not. Of course. Supposedly, I have time machine. We all are 20 years old. This is nice to imagine, at least. We all are 20 years old. I go inside the fast-moving spacecraft, goes 670 million miles per hour, like a light. And I go towards a black hole. Gravity is a lot. So I go, come back. I'll be 25 years, you'll be 35 years. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? But this will not happen. Why? Because the second law of entropy. The second law of entropy says everything from order changes to disorder. If I have glass of water, I drop it, become 100 pieces. Order, disorder. It never can go from disorder, come back order. The scientists believe after Big Bang, every piece of energy was spread equally. And then little by little, because of gravity and different, they become different, become order to disorder. Right now, we cannot find two planets the same size. Forget about two planets. 2 drops of rain, two drops of snow, the same quality, quantity, weight. Everything has changed to disorder. So the arrow of time is one way from past to future. Okay. There are people on this earth that they have no concept of time. You know, past is past because they are farmer, and for them the important thing is the season is wet season or dry season. When would they have fruit? When do they have vegetables? So, but for us, time is the best technology our brain has created. Time organizes our life, our schedule. So time for all is priceless, priceless. So we are so happy Einstein helped us with understanding the time. Okay. What is the time now, actually? You see, we need time, we need time. I don't know what to do about the brain, because the brain is so, it needs really 3 hours.
Go into the brain.
Huh? Yeah, go for it, okay. First, let me explain a little bit about the brain, anatomy of the brain, a little bit. Then maybe I talk about the memory, and I want to really go to 2 of the scientists, because the 2 experiments is amazing of these 2 scientists are amazing. So then let me have these 2, because they are really incredibly interesting. So let's go. Okay, brain is very complicated. It is electrochemical system. It is center of nervous system. Everything starts from the brain. It's like a computer. It's really a computer. It is just your biological computer. These are element too, but it's not alive, okay? The computer is not alive. If we compare our brain to the computer, I have to say that our brain works very fast. Like, I can go from now to my daughter's wedding, to my son's birthday, you know, instantly. But with the computer, we have to feed information, we have to feed. But imagine how smart is computer. The Google has the information of the whole universe. None of are even similar to that. Anyway, the top of, first of all, the brain has divided to 2 hemispheres. We have right and left hemisphere. I have painted for you. You see what a great painter. Right and left hemisphere. The right side controls the left side controls the right side of the body. And then each side is divided to 4 sections: frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. This occipital is actually the area that we can see with it. Frontal, we are thinking with it. We are, the language is here, and also the top layer of all the brain is the cortex, cerebral cortex. 90% of neuron exists in cerebral cortex, because all of our 5 senses, what this computer receives is from outside through 5 senses. Then analyze these. And then we have another, we have a middle brain, and then we have a stem. This middle analyze everything, and a stem not only connect us to a spinal cord, also the unconscious function, like a heartbeat, like our temperature, like a digestion has to do with the stem part of the brain. We can divide brain to two sections, gray and white. Gray is all of five senses and motion. Through these five senses, we are moving, through our all muscle. And the white one is axon. Axon, first of all, if that is one cell of neurons, very similar to other cell, has a nucleus, has a DNA, has a lot of things inside, except dendrite. These are the nerves that receive all the information. Then we have axon, the thicker part of one cell. This axon is also long. These are synapses. Actually, before, till a month ago, they believe all the memory saved here. And the scientists proved to us by one type of protein that they get rid of all these axons, still they saw we have memory. The memory is going to save in the nucleus of every cell. Of course, they have done a lot of tests about the memory inside the brain of also back of the temporal lobe. We have an area, we call it hippocampus. It is, I mentioned, 3 to 3.5 centimeters. It saves all the memory, but we have two types of memory. We have one that temporary memory, we have permanent memory. How do they know that part is temporary memory? Somebody came, his name is H.S., and 1959, came to neurologist, says, I am going crazy, I am shaking so badly, I cannot take it. Doctor, please do something. Do something. He was a surgeon. I have a solution for you. He took hippocampus out, and here is hippocampus. He took it out and a little bit this area out. And what happened, he realized this guy remember all the past, any memory, anything happened in the past, cannot remember anything happened right now. You give him a cup of tea. You take him to another room. What did you do? I don't remember what I did. Because that temporary memories has moved to other places. Neurologists have two different. Of course, there is an area that gyrus, like a dentate gyrus that built the neurons over there. They have two different theories about where does these memories go. There are some neurologists, they said, every experience goes to maybe 1,000 neurons. Some says you are wrong, it is spread. And they do a lot of tests. They have a lot of equipment. They have EEG, they have functional MRI. EEG is an electronic device. They put it in temporal lobe, different area. I had one here, one, actually, this man is doing meditation. And they put a different area of the brain connected to the computer, works with X-ray, and make a wave, all of the wave and motion of the brain. And with studying these waves and motion, they can find out the function of the brain, the disease of the brain. Then they have functional MRI. Functional MRI is the difference between MRI is the equipment follow the movement of water. 55% of men's body is water, 60% of women's body is water. So I show you that the capillary comes to every cell, bring a food and oxygen and water. Most of these capillaries are water. So if the cells are okay, they are functioning, everything, these H2O are behind each other. But when there is smallest damage, we go to the hospital, they take MRI. MRI is very safe. It is microwave and radio wave. So they are magnetic and radio wave, very safe equipment. So if there is any tiny damage, this water is going to be disturbed. It doesn't go to one cell. So smallest damage you have to any part of brain or body, with MRI you can see. Functional MRI is when the surgeon doing the surgery, the brain is open. So they look at the brain, they want to see where does the memory goes, what is happening, and so they have very good idea. I want to mention our brain can build 1,400 neurons a day, approximately. But we can lose 100,000 neurons a day if you are under stress, if you drink too much alcohol, drug, smoking. So it is very important to build more neurons. What is a stimulation for brain? Just learning new things. When we do repeat things. When we go to work, repeat pray, repeat cooking, cleaning. We are not doing any favor to our brain. We have to learn new things. New thing can be a puzzle, can be a painting, new painting, can be reading a book. This brain needs a stimulation. Not only learning is very important, they prove exercise and dancing is amazing, magic. They realize that exercise, dancing, the two sides of brain should have connection. 5 senses work all together. That's why if somebody is blind, the other 4 become more active. They become more sensitive, more aware of what's going on. So it is very important, not only make connection, create more neurons in the body, get rid of all the poison in the system when we are sweating, get rid of extra sugar, extra fat, and the concentration is going to become better. It is just amazing exercise. And now, let's go back to the people. This brain we have, they realize that we are affected with what majority decide. That is what happened to Germany. That is what happened to slavery. When they take a vote, supposedly, when some people have a popular vote, you want to go with them. An amazing thing. They try to ask the same question from the same people. 70%, they come up with the same answer. It means they change their mind and it stays with them. This is very important. Every time we remember something, we change it. We alter that memory. Even the smartest neurologists believe that. We change it. That is why when people have Alzheimer's, they forget the new memory, they remember the old, the new one. How many times you remember and you remind yourself of something happened recently? Maybe 1 time, maybe 2 times. How many times you remember you were in a school, with your friends? So those memories stay with you. I believe also our brain pick up what we want to remember. I remember, believe me, I was 6 years old. I was riding a bicycle. I fell down in front of my aunt's house. And I was bleeding. A lady came out with her father. She told me, don't forget. You grow up, you will forget it. I would remember her face, her color of hair, makeup, clothes, father. You know how many experiences I forgot? Because I want to know if she tells me the truth or not. That is why I remember. But I listen and hear tens of jokes. And I want to remember, I forget, because it's not important for this brain, It's very important. Jokers, fun. This is great. People can tell jokes. They have talent, And Einstein says, the important thing we have to remember, we all have different talent and ability. If we ask the fish to climb the tree, we think the fish is stupid. So each of us have a different talent and ability. But I believe we pick up what we want to remember. We used to be in real estate. They tell us if you want to mail, they call it farming, to some group, don't do it once or twice. Even 3 times, they forget who you are. After 3 times, it becomes better. By 7 times, they know who you are. They know your name, they will call you. Otherwise, don't waste your money. That is why we have to repeat. Why we can remember? Because we keep repeating something, it becomes stronger. The memory becomes more solid. I invited somebody to my lecture. So why should I come? I forget tomorrow. I didn't have heart to tell her, you will forget the name of your children. You will forget. Because if we don't learn, what would happen to this brain? Anyway, I want to go. There is a lot I want to talk, but we don't have time. No, it's not finished. What is entanglement? in physics, but I love science. What is entanglement? Entanglements mean if you have few neurons, and or we have few, and we enter energy to these neurons. This energy is going to be seen 1 billion miles away, trillion miles away, quadrillion miles away, the other side of the universe. So how could it be possible? You know, even the speed of light, it is not that far. You know, it can go 670 million miles per hour. How could it be the other side of the universe? Because now, this was a scientist, he was English, Mr. Neil was saying that. Because there is a connection, there is energy between everything, all of us in this universe. I believe, I'm not religious, I believe this energy is God, nothing else. And we are a package of energy. We all are E equals MC2. I don't believe it's superstition or anything else. Why I am saying this, I want to talk about two neurologists, amazing people. Roger A. Nelson, he's 74, he's retired. He used to work for Princeton University. He believed to the global consciousness, What he has done is amazing. He opened up 70 centers, different countries around the world, from Africa to Europe to Asia, everywhere he opened up center. And he had many people working for him. They would talk people, they had EEG, he wanted to see the experience of people. If they have experience, what would happen to their brain? What do remember, how do they react? And every second, they send all this experience to Princeton, to the computer. So they have an experience of, these are random people. People, 24 hours he was watching them. They come from the street or they pick them up. 24 hours, he want to see in an important event, like a 9/11, like a New Year party. What would happen to the people? This is amazing, amazing. He realized that the majority of the people around the world, their chart of their emotion went up. If that is the chart, the highest level, couple of even seconds before, 6 seconds before reached to the highest location. So, or many other experiences. Or when Diana died, you know, the people were so upset all over the world. So he thinks all of us are connected, our consciousness is connected with each other. This is very important. We know that we all are connected. We are not separated. So Mr. Roger Nelson has done a lot for us. That is global consciousness. I want to also talk about Michael Persinger. His neurologist, he's around 68, 69 years old, and he has done a lot of experiment on the brain and telepathy. First of all, he believed electromagnetic field around us affect our brain. You know, if we have the same electromagnetic field, we are going to have telepathy with each other. What he did, he put one patient here, one patient in another room, and he was checking their brain. And he also has created one helmet that has tiny, tiny holes, so everybody received the same electromagnetic field. And the person is in one room. He entered a little bit pulse of light, and 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, and ask him after half an hour, what did you experience? Says, okay, 5 minutes I had a pulse. Of course, that was his brain. Then he goes to the other room. He said, what did you experience? Again, this guy says 5 minutes, 7 minutes. So we all are connected with electromagnetic. He said, if these electromagnetic changes, if you are different part of universe, different city, people who receive less electromagnetic energy, they could have hallucination, they could imagine ghosts, and extra and extra. He worked on the brain of two people, Sean Hellebrands. Sean Hellebrands is Indian. This guy is so genius, so telepathy. that you show him a picture, he says so much about the person. But if the person sits next to him, he can sell the secret that only that person knows. Nobody else. You won't believe what I tell you. No, you won't believe it. He was the man who discovered Saddam Hussein, ex-president of Iraq. Where was he in the hole? He was the man who discovered that and let the people know. Swan Ego. He worked for intelligence service of United States. He is amazing. They use him in all these terrorists. Every act happen, they give him some information, and he can predict it. He can predict, oh, they are going to have a bomb in airplane, and he's also amazing. What he realized by doing EEG in both brain, I'm making everything short, he realized right side of their brain release more energy. That is why they are psychic. That's why they have telepathy with everybody and everything. So this is important, the energy. We all release energy. Today they prove even retina release energy, So it is very important to know how it works. There was something else I'm scared to tell you. I don't know, should I tell you? The list of enemies going to... Okay, the helmet he has, he tried on many people, They bring them to his office, the office in a lab, in the basement, put a helmet on top of their head, and for half an hour, and he entered a touch of electromagnetic energy in the right side of their brain. A touch. It's like a hairdryer, the amount of hairdryer, not more than that. He even picked up a lady from Italy that has no religion, no belief, nothing. He realized that more than 80%, they feel existent of a power, a God or angel around them. He thinks there is so much anxiety for us that, oh, what happens if we die, or we are scared of dying. So these anxieties, the reason we like to believe that there is a power, there is a God who protects us, there is life after death. I listened to a new lecture of two rabbis, two people who don't believe in religion at all. And I love what Rabbi Wolfe was saying. He said, okay, we don't know if there is a life after death or not, but isn't that nice? We have some hope. Even him, he's so genius. This rabbi is really a smart man. So it is nice, you have some hope to know something exists. Of course, even if we are energy, it's just idea. Energy doesn't disappear in this world. Changes to different form of energy. None of us are going to die. Some say it become a spirit or whatever. So anyway, well, how much time we have? 25 minutes. 25 minutes, okay. What else should I do? I want to talk about holographic universe. And these kids, they stole my, no, let's go to robot. Hiroshiri Ushoguro. This is another genius in Japan. Another genius man. Okay. Honda company has created the robot Azimo. The name is Azimo. This is unbelievable. Can walk, can climb the stair, can dance. I should buy one Azimo. Isn't that great? Can move the eyes, the head, And of course, how it does, has EEG and a couple of equipment connected to the computer and receive the information. If you walk with him, he walks. This is going to be future of nurse in Japan because they have shortage of nurse. And right now, this Azimo works with the autism children. These autism children like that because the Azimo show emotion, can laugh, can get upset, can show all type of emotion, okay? Now, he's working on other robots. This is a robot that look exactly like him. He used the silicon for the face and all the body. It is so similar that people cannot recognize. Of course, he made another robot also look like his daughter, one look like a broadcaster. I forgot to mention the President Obama was there in Japan and played soccer with this Asimo, you know. If you throw a ball, he throw the ball back at you. Anyway, this man says, trust me, I am going to create a robot as smart as human being or even smarter. And again, this receive everything you do, you know, has a camera and the computer. If you move your head, can move the head, can move the eyes, and receive all the information and react to it. So when he talk and move the mouth, you think even he can breathe because he's moving. Then pick up everything he says, and robot does the same thing. You cannot believe that, because they asked him for interview. He sent the robot to Europe, to there, you know, by Skype. The robot sees what he does. They ask robot something, of course he's answering, but they think robot is answering because robot copied that. It's just unbelievable what this robot does and robot doing. Let's talk about holographic universe and Seth Lloyd. Maybe I talk about Seth Lloyd. This is another scientist work for MIT. Right now, we know the computer, they work very well, but their bytes are whether 0 or 1. But quantum computer is going to be different. Why quantum computer is based on probability, possibility. Supposedly we have a line here. We have here few electron. These are subatomic particles, the electron around any. If you look at this electron, they act like a particle. They stay here. If you don't look at this electron, radiation is going to move out, move here. So electron at the same time can be different places. This is based off quantum mechanics, possibility, probability. So they say everything has possibility. At the same time, for computer, it can be 0 and 1 at the same time. His built-in quantum computer, it takes 10 years to be done, but it's going to be out of this world. It's going to answer many questions. Right now, supposedly, you want to go to Europe. You want to go to Rome, to London, this, that. You have to check the computer city by city. Here, with one try, answer 20 questions, because of possibility and probability are tremendous, unbelievable. Not 1, 0, 1, 1, many zeros and 1. This quantum commuting, they call quantum commuting, is going to be out of this world. Okay, let's see. And again, this is Guru Gundam. He's from Munich University. He said, I am going to make a robot smarter than all of us. And he's doing a lot. He also, on the computer, has a picture of the brain and the simulation of the brain. This is amazing what they are doing. Let me talk about the holographic universe a little bit, okay? They took my mouse. Let's say something is here on 2 dimension. I needed it. Okay. If 2-dimension object, we throw 2 different lasers. The laser come out, and we take a picture of laser and expose it, we are going to have 4-dimension object. Even if we do that to half of the object, half of his face, okay, you would see the whole mouth. Even if we have a picture of, even we do it to half of it, the whole picture come out. What does holographic universe mean? Holo means empty. Graphic means doing the same thing, means the picture, not real thing, means our universe is not real. They are, a lot of scientists, they believe maybe universe was 2-dimension, fell down on the black hole, 3-dimension or 4-dimension universe came out. If you look at the eyes is the same thing. We have 2 lasers two lenses, they act like a two laser. The lights come in, and here retina have 130 million, receptor, and goes through the nerve, goes in the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe back here, all surrounding is dark. So how do we see? It has to be holographic eyes. So a lot of scientists, they think it's not just an eye, it's not just the ears. All of them are holographic. By looking at a small section, you can see the whole thing. Even they say memory is holographic. How could we memorize so many things in the brain? How could, I remember, like I think of my twin sister, I remember the whole school, the whole friends, everything. They said maybe when we remember a little bit, the whole picture of the whole thing appears. So maybe the universe also is holographic universe. Of course, some people believe on that, not everybody. Okay, what else should I talk about? Anybody has a question? Yes.
I wanted to say that, when the United States government and the U.S. military dropped those, bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that was, one of the dumbest things that, they ever done.
Absolutely.
Because, a war is between, governments,
not
militaries. So, when the United States and the United States military was involved in a war, it had nothing to do with the, Japanese civilian people.
No, absolutely.
Between the Japanese government and Japanese military. They should have, kept it in that realm amongst each other, not get a bunch of civilian people involved. So that was one of the dumbest things that the U.S. government and U.S. military did.
Absolutely right. None of us like war. Nothing is worse than the war,
Governments and military, it doesn't involve civilians.
Create enemy. Any government kill even one person, create hundreds of enemies. They dig their own grave. That is the worst thing you can do. Any human being has right to live and right to their own opinion. And nobody can hurt anybody, nobody, for no reason. But if they are criminal who want to cut people's head, throw them live in the graveyard, what can we do with them? We have no choice to take, get rid of them. Otherwise, they don't have any logic. Of course, I know it is politics. Of course, it is war between governments. Of course, they use them. They use the dumb people. They use the loser, give them weapon, give them money, give them power, like ISIS, the Khorasan, like all these. They are using them. Otherwise, who were they? In a year, they had so many.
All I'm saying
no, you are right. You are right. You are right.
War is between government and military. It doesn't involve civilian people.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. First of all, 20th century.
What's the question?
Yeah. 100.
So I said when the U.S. government,
it was wrong.
Military dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That was one of the dumbest things they could do, because a war is between governments
not
and
people.
militaries.
Okay, let me change it. 20th century. Okay, we have one more person. Go ahead.
What was the name of the Japanese fellow who was building the robot?
Hiroshi Ishiguro. ISH. Okay.
No one cares,
No, I'm not kidding. Okay. 20th century, 180 million people died. Okay, go ahead.
Harman, without trying to give you a compliment, don't you think that you can contribute researching cancer with your genius?
I'm not genius, but they are so. Thank you. You are so sweet. So sweet.
Why is it so complicated that they don't even know where cancer comes from?
Because
in so many ways.
Because only sickle anemia, which is a blood type of disease, which is a disease that are global, are like a donut. Those create a crescent type of blood. The blood stay alive for 120 days. those type of blood stay for 20 days. So people who have anemia, they have problem. They don't have enough globulin. They have one gene which is not good, one bad gene. But majority of the cancer, they have 4, 5, 6. They don't know. They know half of the gene, the function of half the. Every day they are learning more. They are studying more. They're using different technique to, cure the disease. I want to mention something, why we are so lucky to live in this country anyway. I understand we might have a different opinion than governor. We have 7.3 billion population. Every night, 1 billion sleep hungry in this world. Every night, 2 billion have shortage of food, protein. Even United Nations suggestion says you should eat cockroaches, worm, you should have angle, different things, You should have, what do you call it? Anyway, and people are grasshopper, and people are doing, okay? 2.5 billion, they don't have clean water. 2.5 billion, they don't have decent toilet, okay? 9 million children every year won't reach age 5, whether they are sexually abused, they have diseases, they have, all these problems. 140 million women are slaves, sex slaves. My opinion, billions. Billions are sex slaves. Look at what's going on around the world, okay? 150 million are homeless. Look at what is happening to Syria, Iraq. This is unbelievable. 150 million are homeless. So imagine majority of people in this universe, 1 out of 100 have computer. They cannot read, they cannot write. See where we are living. Look at this country. If you don't have computer, look at the library here. All the knowledge of universe is here. We came and sit down here. So many homeless people were sitting outside. Me and my husband were here 1:45. I couldn't wait to come. And I know they don't have computer. That's fine. Look at how many computers exist. So we are extremely lucky to live in this country. We have to appreciate the freedom, choices we have. We have choices. I'm sure you are right. The war is the worst thing could happen. Sometimes you can prevent it. There are people who are selling weapons, they want a war. They are selling their oil, they want, oil. Otherwise, look at this country, how much oil we have, natural gases we have. There are politics involved, you are right. But people are extremely nice people in this country.
I wanted to...
Okay, let's